TP there, knowing that there's nothing they could do to save their mid.
That was just Kuro with absolute sick ice shards. He placed those so well, there was no way he could get out, and it kept him stuck there for the entire duration. Well played by Secret, and they're putting a lot of pressure on this mid silencer, and they should. It's a lane that's incredibly weak, and you want to be able to punish it as much as you can. There's no escape mechanism, and it's not even that great if he gets, if he's under-farmed, it's incredibly bad, right? So you want to just put the pressure on him if there's anybody that you want to just put pressure on. And Illidan's going to rotate in mid because he's the tankiest by far, and they have to rotate him anytime they want to defend the tower. But what Secret are going to do is actually just rotate top because they know that a lot of heroes have rotated mid.
Yeah, essentially they're going to stay one step ahead of Virtus Pro. VP can't really get into a full-on team fight just yet, especially with Global Silence still down, so...
They should glyph this.
Alright, they don't actually pop it, that's fine. Tower still going to go down anyway to Zai. He gets some much-needed recovery gold there.
He's doing a good job right now, though. He's finally caught up. 25 CS and a tower kill, that's not too bad for a Darkseer, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, I'm still a bit concerned. Let's talk about Medusa item builds here, because Medusa is obviously one of the key factors for Virtus Pro in this game. Item-wise, what do you like to see from Medusa nowadays? Do you like to see a more aggressive hold-up? Zai's going to be caught here, telekinesis, and going to be bursting down nice and quick. The TP out is not going to be in time. Just too many heroes there.
Yeah, and Illidan gets the last hit. That helps her so much, but you were asking about item builds on Medusa. Scotty is incredibly common just because of what it gives you. It gives you a slow, which Medusa sorely needs. She gets kited so easily. This game, going for something like drums into like point booster isn't a bad idea either. The point booster just is one of the most value items in the game for the Medusa.
Yeah.
If you want to go for the drums, it means that you're typically going to be in a lot more early game engagements. You can go for the Lincolns here, I guess.
I feel like there's a lot of value in the just Yasha to begin with as well, and then you can choose your item build from there. Potentially going to Yasha, which is such a huge increase in farming speed for Medusa due to the both damage and attack speed increase. Illidan is trying to chase down S4 right now. DK Phobos does have an RP, but they're not actually going to go for S4. Just chasing him back. But yeah, like Yasha, and then you can make the decision perhaps to go into the Scotty or perhaps a Manta. There used to be the item build a lot of Lincolns, but it seems nowadays in the last few patches where we do see Dusa, it's just too slow of an item build. Not enough offense.
Yeah, that's why you don't see heroes like Morph so much anymore, because they rely on items like Lincolns. But
he's going to pop the global silence, but they're inside of the snowball. That means they are not silenced up, and G will go down. The telekinesis is going to be able to catch Kuro, though. RP being faked out. DK Phobos doesn't need it, though, and Zai, he's going to be caught too. Illidan, look into my eyes. He's going to be able to pick up that kill as well.
That's really good for VP, but at the same time, that silencer's dirt poor. He's not going to have a lot of impact. He needs items. Make no mistake about it. Silencer's the type of hero that if you don't have items, you can't just solely rely on levels to be able to bail yourself out.
Right.
Like, there are some heroes in the mid lane where it doesn't matter too much. An SF will eventually catch up because he can go to the jungle, but Silencer doesn't have that same amount of space.
Yeah, this is why you would sometimes see the carry silencers going for the hand of Midas, just because both levels and farm were so critical. Illidan's going to be caught here, Light Strike Array combination, but of course Illidan is so tanky thanks to that level 3 mana shield. They get the deny in the end, but Illidan is now blocked out, and the snowball grabs everybody through. DK Phobos, he missed the cure, still going to be getting a 3-man RP. They need to get Virtus Pro out of here though. FNG, there goes the Laguna Blade, Ice Shards on top of the Magnus as well, and FNG is going to be caught. Arteezy runs him down easily with the Ion Shell, and it's only really G. He may not even survive since the trap goes off, slows him down. Ice Shards blocking him out. Lil comes in, trying to stop this aggression, but a snowball will still be able to bring them into the tier 3 tower. Fisher goes out, slowing down Lil. They're going in deep to the enemy base, but there's no buybacks from VP. Girls dropping lower and lower. They'll pick up that kill. Arteezy just has the refraction to survive. He's going to TP out and will be able to get away. A 1-for-4 exchange to the favor of Secret.
And this is the lineup that Secret wanted to play. They just wanted to get aggressive as fast as possible. A hero like Medusa has such a slow startup. Same with a hero like Silencer. I mean, what does a Silencer do in a situation like that? He watches the enemy team dive his tier 4s, and he doesn't really have an option of helping out the rest of his team. That's the weakness of it. You can't really provide anything but the team fight utility. Your actual damage is a little bit too low. You don't have it disabled to go along with your hero, and I mean, G's struggling. Secret have just made it such a priority to slow him down as much as possible.
You can see after that team fight, Secret now raised up to a 3,000 net worth lead over VP. And I think you're right. I mean, in general, VP from the get-go, looking at their draft, it's rather passive. It doesn't do a whole lot in the first 20 minutes of the game. All three cores rely on a certain amount of farm. Even the offlaner, Magnus, needs his Blink Dagger before he's truly effective. And the supports as well are a little bit low on damage. Rubik isn't known for being terribly offensive. He just combos well with other heroes. And then, of course, you've got the Naga Siren, who is more defensive in nature due to the ultimate.
Yeah, I think the net is just really good against both the Templar Assassin and the Darkseer. And the sleep can bail your Medusa out and reset for your Magnus, but the problem, as you saw, is that when DK Phobos missed the skewer, even if he hits it there, I think they still can't win the fight. Because they just don't have the damage in this early game to back it up. What VP right now have to do is just play incredibly passively, push out the lanes using the Magnus Shockwave, get a Blink Dagger, and just hope that Illidan can get 6-slotted, because it's really, really difficult for them to fight before he has at least 2 major items.
Right. The limited amount of damage on the side of VP, it just seems like it's not going to be enough to kill anybody on the side of Team Secret for a long time now, especially with the mech now being picked up by Zai. You can see they're going for a 4-man smoke here. If they get the right pickoff, they can turn this into another objective, maybe even take an early Roshan. But Virtus Pro are centering up at the top lane, playing very defensively around their tier 2 towers right now. It seems they do have some sort of idea that Secret are looking for a game.
Yeah, it's a little bit... Our Secret are really aware of where VP are right now. When you're playing this defensively, your jungle is going to be your sanctuary, but VP, if you notice their positioning, they're 5-man, they're doing the family style farming right now. They're so afraid to leave each other. They have to rely on FNG sleep to be able to get them out, but this is so inefficient, and it's actually kind of working out because nobody from Secret is farming to punish them, and Secret's going to say, okay, if you're just going to stay in your own jungle, then we'll decide to farm out everywhere. Like, Arteezy's going to go top and then take these 2 camps pretty much as long as he wants.
Right.
And then the rest of his team can pretty much take their own jungle and spread out the lanes as they push in.
Yeah, if you put pressure on these towers, you're going to force eventually Virtus Pro to split up a little bit, and maybe you can find your opening. Bottom lane, Yule Scepter is going to be able to catch DK Phobos, trying to blow him up with Laguna Blade. They do get it. Lil stole that Laguna Blade, and is going to hold on to it for later. So might still be able to get a turnaround kill, though. Great pickoff for S4 on the offlane Magnus, slowing down that Blink Dagger even further.
You trade a spell for a mag kill, you do that every single time. Like, you're trying to slow down this Blink Dagger as much as possible. If you look at VP's lineup, there's almost zero way for them to initiate. You can use the Naga Sleep to lead the fight, but you don't want to do that. That's your safety mechanism. That's your, okay, our Medusa's about to die, and I can't let her lose all this net worth ability. And without that Blink Dagger, their supports are terrible at initiating. You've got a Medusa that's an incredibly static hero, and the Silencer is the same way. You're waiting for them to take fights into you before you global silence.
See some lines already being drawn at that bottom lane. Looks like Kuro wants to be able to push down that tier 1 tower. And this, if they can actually get that tier 1 tower, Puffy is very close to his Blink Dagger already. He may have it before the Magnus, and that'll be huge. VP are actually going for a 4-man smoke gank right now. They're going to try and pick off Arteezy, who does not have any sort of Blink Dagger. A way to get out of this one. Telekinesis ensnared up and easily bursted down. Even the Laguna Blade being used there from Lil, just to make sure they get that pick off.
That's more in for G. He almost has the Rod of Atos. DK Phobos is really close to his Blink Dagger after getting that kill. So that was a significant one, but still, it requires pretty much everybody from VP every single time. And that's kind of okay. It's not an ideal situation, but at the same time, you are picking up kills. And the point of this lineup is not to fight in the mid game. The point of this lineup is just get your Medusa farmed up, hope for RPs, and you can hold the game indefinitely with those 2 spells.
Right. Look at the very aggressive vision being placed by Team Secret. Pretty much saying if VP want to play really defensively around their tier 2 towers, that's fine. We just don't want to give them too much room to farm up. If they ever venture outside of the base, they want to be able to counter them. I love this early Desolator pickup from Arteezy, despite the fact that this build, maybe got him caught in that top lane with really no way of escape. This will allow him to be able to put a lot of solo pressure on the top lane, quickly pushing down the creep wave and threatening those tier 2 towers.
I think he goes for the Roshan at some point too. They've got enough map control that they can go for it. The danger here though is that, again, you don't know how close DK Phobos is to that Blink Dagger, and at the same time, you've got a lot of different spells to fight in the Roche Pit. FNG has the Sleep, you've got the Global Silence, you can Global Silence Sleep one of the two and then just walk into the Roche pit and look for a fight. So Secret, I think they're going to try to go for a smoke gank beforehand and then establish tempo again.
Ward being placed, but there was already a counter there. And this also makes Secret realize that there is going to be a smoke. FNG, okay, this is going to be an offensive sleep for them to try
they got to get a lot out of this.
This is really dangerous. They pop the global silence. RP on two, but S4 has already managed to get the
They just don't have the damage.
They're going to try and burst down DK Phobos. Kuro is going to be the target. Snowball going to run into two here. Illidan, meanwhile, just trying to get the rest of his team out of this one with his ultimate. But Secret are still going to be able to search for it. They're going for Lil right now. Puppy comes in with the ankle slam on top of the vacuum. Beautiful combination. Taking out two. The slow is there on FNG as well as God. Puppy looking for the Fisher, catches at least G. That's going to be a third kill coming out as Curl kills him with the ice shards. Now FNG runs into one trap, a secondary one, trying to TP up, but the snowball is going to be there in time. A fourth kill for Team Secret. BP, it seemed like a very odd moment to go for a bit of aggression there. The offensive sleep did not work out at all. BP just, as you said, do not have the damage.
That's the thing, is you're 200 gold away from your Blink Dagger and your Magnus, and then you don't have to expend the sleep. You can just look for the RP and hope that you catch at least two there, and then you realize that that fight's going terribly, and you're like, this is terrible, we should not have done this, regrets, and then you just sleep and get out. But without that sleep there, you're hard committed to the fight at that point.
Right.
You win that fight, or you lose fight. That's actually how that fight goes at that point, and I mean, we saw it right there. That's the weakness of having supports like this and having the lead with that, because Zai just popped the mech, full HP.
And now, as you said, they're going to be able to take Roshan. Lil is showing himself. Slow him down with Fisher, lock him in with the ice shards too. Lil can't go anywhere. He may have to just TP out for fear of Snowball. Sure enough, here it comes. They go into Lil. DK Phobos managed to grab two with the skewer, but there's still just not enough damage. They're trying to pop Kuro right now, but Illidan pops the ultimate, will be able to get the right clicks in. Arteezy is stunned up. Turned into that Storm Squad, but Illidan is completely blocked out now. Dual Scepter into the Light Strike Array, will be able to control him. Laguna Blade to pop him. Arteezy will lose his Aegis now, but it's still going to be a good fight for Team Secret. Vacuuming up to God, trying to get whatever damage he can before he dies. FNG will be able to successfully TP out, and DK Phobos just stays out of that fight almost entirely after his skewer. BP once again going into a fight that just cannot be won.
They just walked in again. They got caught by that Roche pit, which is unfortunate, but they lose 3 for the price of 1. Not worth it at all. Another huge gold swing. And that's 12k already at 21 minutes, and Secret's lineup was built to do this. They were meant to just continuously run at the lineup of VP until VP breaks, but you still have to look at VP's lineup and say that there are ways
G, nice steal, beautiful. Lil catching him with the telekinesis and turning the Fisher back around Puppy, but he's actually still staying alive. He gets the creep aggro off from Lil, gets the last right click. Now an RP into Arteezy. They need to control him underneath the tower, but he instantly blinks away. Thank you, Blink Dagger. Now actually a beautiful Mel dodges the ensnare as well. Arteezy's gonna get out of here. Zai, he's going to be in a bit of trouble, has already used his surge on our tour, but it's going to be fine. BP slowed down by the trap, will not be able to catch up.
That was just pure out team play right there. Zai comes in, he's barely any mana at all, saves Arteezy, who dodges the net with that half-second meld, continues to run, and they just don't have damage right now. DK Phobos commits the skewer RP, doesn't do anything. They actually can't burst him down anymore. They have to just wait for this Medusa to get 6 left. I think VP just have to start to realize the facts of the matter and say, okay, we can't take a fight at this point, just play incredibly defensive, and they can play like that, but they just choose to take fights at their tier 2, and they're going to lose heroes for it, and I think VP just play defensive, wait it out. Their lineup is incredibly strong at the ultra late game. You've got a Medusa with a Magnus on top of that, no reason to take fights in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the net worth chart, you could see a very dramatic difference. Once VP chose to go for that initial sleep, offensive sleep fight,